open up and look at our goodies. Alright, so let's plug it in. If it's going to charge, it will start flashing blue. Okay, so our package arrived. I'm going to open up and look at our goodies. Got one battery disconnect. I'm actually going to use this one for the solar, for the PV cables coming down, positive, negative. I'll probably just do the negative. Got one breaker. This will go to the battery. And it says waterproof and it's 250 amps. So that'll be more enough to handle what we need to do. And inside the big box down in here, I have the new charge inverter. Okay, so this is a 3000 watt all-in-one charge inverter. It will take in the solar array PV voltage and charge the batteries and then invert it out to AC, and that's what we need. And this is a duplicate of what is in our basement. So if something should happen to the one in the cabin here, we just replace it with this one and then order a new one to replace this, so our cabin will always have power. We're going to go over to the batteries now and get those situated to accept the 24 volts that this is. Let's go. Okay, so the plan is to turn all these 12 volts into a 24 volt system. I'm going to series up each battery from the positive terminal here to the negative terminal there. That'll make this 24 volt. Same thing here, 24 volt. Same thing here, 24 volt, and same thing there, 24 volt. And then to parallel them all together so I can have one negative and one positive, I'll put a copper tube here to connect all of the negatives and a copper tube over here to connect all the positives, and I'll have one cable coming up for positive and one cable coming up for negative, and that'll go into the solar charge inverter. So I think in order to get my copper tube to go from here to here, I'm going to have to cut off these inside posts, and I think that'll be all right, so I'm going to get that done now. All right, so I'm going to do I'm going to connect all of them on the positive side. I'll cut this tube off and then I'll flatten it and drill holes through it, go on top of them and screw them down with bolts. I'll do one here and I'll do one over there. So I'll just cut 2 of these right now. Okay, so I have one for this side and one for that side. And now I just need 4 tubes to connect the inners to make them 24-volt cells and not just 12 and 12, but together in series. So this will be positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative, and positive to negative. And so I'll cut 4 of those now and we'll go flatten them and drill them all. Okay, and there is one bar to go across all the positives. I'll do another one just like this for the negatives, and then I'll do the 4 that join them in series. Okay, let's go drill some holes and install them.
I'm going to my own.
Okay, keep going, Isaiah. Okay. for the... Okay, so I'm gonna put the negative over here to the breaker right there, and then I'll put the positive over to the positive side of the battery. I'll show you what that looks like when I'm all done. Okay, so I've got the battery hooked up now to the solar charge inverter. It is recognizing the battery, and it has actually begun to say that it would be able to turn on the inverter and supply power. So I will get that hooked up. I will shut off the inverter here and hook up the receptacle, and we'll try and run something. Okay, so I've got it plugged back in, switched on, and I installed an outlet down here so it'd be underneath and not in the rain. And I have it plugged in, and we have a battery charging. So it is working. The next step is to get the solar wires all the way down from up there at the solar panels and connect them up so that it will charge the batteries. So let's get going on that. Okay, so I spliced the solar wire coming down from the solar panels and put the connectors on the end, and then there's just a disconnect switch in it so I can easily shut off the solar to the charge inverter if I need to. I'm just going to screw this up in here, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Flip her on. Nothing. Oh, it started charging. Let's see how much it says we're getting here. There's a few buttons. We are getting, let's output, 75 volts and 4 amps. So let's see how many watts that is. That's 120 watts. How about that? And it's not even sunny. So we are charging. Let's see if it'll charge my car for even just a few seconds. Let's see if it'll do that. All right, let's try that. Okay, power to the charging unit. All right, so let's plug it in. If it's going to charge, it will start flashing blue. There it goes. So we are charging. It's currently drawing 870 watts. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit. Probably using a little bit of energy to warm up the batteries right now before it actually charges them. So the plan is that we'll just always leave this hooked up to the car whenever we're home, and the charge inverter then can control when the batteries are low. It'll disconnect the output, and then when the sun comes out and the solars charge up the batteries again, the battery voltage will rise high enough, and the inverter should kick the AC output back on and start charging the car again. So we can just let it sit plugged in as long as we need to get charged.
How excited are you to have the battery set up in the car charging?
I really like this solar charge station. It's kind of cool. Everything's working and the car is charging. So this has been a long time coming and a lot of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. How do you feel about the car charging?
I think that's pretty awesome.
Oh.
So for now, that's that. Steve's favorite pastime. Some people like to watch fires. Steve likes to watch the solar charger. He's pretty excited right now.
It went up another 1/10 of a volt.